I don't break a lot of impact bits. That's probably because I lose them before I get a chance to wear them out, get them to the point where they'll break. Plus, I try to buy decent bits, like the Makitas and Milwaukees, and I use them and they all have their impact zone in them. And it's not a problem for me. But if you have problems with breaking impact bits, I'd love to hear that below in the comments, and I'm also going to introduce you to something that first I think is cool, which is one of the only reasons I'm doing the video on it. Second, it might help some people out. I got this box from Crescent with a challenge inside. At least I read it as a challenge. For most people, it's going to be marketing material for their new Vortex Bit Holder. This little dude is supposed to let your bits last 500 times longer, mostly because it has some impact zones on the inside. I view it as a torque stick that we used to have. They all had different foot-pound limiters. So this is technically to me like a torque stick because it's not going to allow you to put the pressure on it. They gave us specific instructions to go through and show you guys. We're going to push that a little bit. We're going to see if we can break some other bits, some of the better quality bits that I have, like they say I can. And we're going to be doing a lot of things wrong. So don't criticize us as to when we're just sitting and impacting on a screw. We're trying to break stuff. Stay tuned. So here's the box that we got from Crescent. Basically, it includes a bunch of miscellaneous T25 bits, the Vortex Bit Holder, which is actually nice. The reason I like it is you can hang on to it and it spins inside there. It should give you a pretty decent way of hanging on to something. And then they give you the competitor's bit holder and a bunch of extra bits. They sent this 2x4 in this hinge and said specifically, put your impact driver on high, put this guy in, take this screw and line her up in here and put all the beans to it up into the point where it breaks. And that's probably not normal. So we're just going to do it, see if we break this bit. I will tell you, I've never broke a bit doing anything like that. So I'm not sure if these are, that's crazy, right? So these must be pretty bad. I mean, that's just sickening. Just for fun, and we have to do this just for fun. Here's a Makita bit. I just have to test that out before I go on because I think that's only fair. Here's a Makita doing the same exact thing. Broke it off the exact same way. I guess I don't do enough of these hinges to have that happen. So I'm actually surprised the Makita did that. Before we go too far, I guess let's put on the Vortex Bit Holder. Still have their bits inside here. And let's just see what happens. Now with their instructions here, I should be able to do the same thing. Just let this guy hammer and nothing's going to break. Well, that's not the case. I broke that one too. That's very interesting. Very, very interesting. So far, no change. Let's give this a go here one last time. So it held it for a little bit up until the point where I still gave it the beans and said, hey, and then she broke off. So we pulled the screws back out. We're going to use the same screws. This is normally how I set everything up. I got a Milwaukee bit in here. I also have a Makita that's sitting next to it. I use the longer ones for whatever reason. It just seems to fit me. I don't know. Maybe that's why I'm not breaking a lot of bits. So let's just try it with this and see what happens. If this happens to you guys a lot, I'm confused as to why, because I'll tell you, I have never had this many bits break in my whole life, let alone just here. Beyond me. So let's move over to the Makita. I really like these Makita bits, and I'll tell you, I haven't had a lot of trouble with them at all. Of course, I haven't had a lot of trouble with any of them except for the super cheap ones. Let's see how this goes. And if you give it a little bit more than you should, it breaks off. And that's annoying. I guess the cool part is once it breaks off, it's still usable. So what we're gonna do is pop this guy in here into this Crescent Vortex, and we're gonna see if we can push this in. It feels incredibly long, but let's go. Of course, there's a little more bit inside there now and a little more strength because it's not so far out, but we can hammer on that one and not break it again, which I guess is good. Let's try this guy. The Milwaukee just doesn't have enough left. So one last time here with their bits in one screw. This shouldn't break, but we haven't got to the point where nothing has broke here. So if I'm careful, a little bit careful, as I would normally drive this, no issue. Hammer on it way too much, still break. So looking this over, I still agree with all the tests as to how they're saying to do it. You can see they're using a DeWalt here. Now, I don't think that matters. I was actually planning on using the DeWalt, but I wasn't planning on breaking a lot of bits. Now, if I look here, you guys tell me if I'm wrong. Is that a flex that they have sitting here? I'm not 100% sure. But with that said, no matter what, they're basically saying, give her hell up until the bit snaps off, switch over to the Vortex, drive it, no issue, then compare any of your other bits and repeat the demo. No broken bits. Maybe I got a bad one. I broke everything I touched. So I bet all you Milwaukee guys are saying the Milwaukee is just too much for that compared to the other. Who knows? That's weird. I really didn't expect to break that many bits. I've never broke that many bits in my whole life, and I've sad that I lost a couple of my favorite Makita bits in there, and crazy. So if you guys are breaking bits that quick all the time, please let me know what you're doing. I would love to hear that, and I'm sure there are certain circumstances where it comes into play, but holy hell, that's crazy. So if this works, or if you find someone who actually got that video to work with this thing, leave that video below. I'd love to see that also, because ours was a complete fail. And I don't think that Crescent is building something bad. I think most people would like this. I think it would be interesting to see if you could get it to work under their testing circumstances. Maybe I have something completely wrong. Comments below as normal, guys. Love to hear your thoughts. Please give me a like in this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thanks for your time. Have a great day.